The next speaker is Mr. Satyajit Ganguly, and he's going to talk about gas, I believe, something that earlier speakers didn't think is that important today in India's power sector, but I'm sure he has a different perspective.
Good evening. At the onset, I would just break some of the myths. Myth number one is gas power stations do not run with profit in India. It's untrue. I'm managing director of a company which is situated in northeastern region, the region where there were a lot of terrain difficulties, the project difficulties. However, we have set up the project, 2 units of 363 megawatt. We are paying for gas on APM rate. We did not ask for any subsidy. Our machines are super efficient 9FA machine with a efficiency of 1650 kilocalorie per kilowatt hour. And we make profit. Last year, we made a profit of more than 56 crore with 1 unit. This year, we are expecting much more than that. Having said that, I think about coal, we have discussed a lot. I'll just go to the gas to start with. And yes, 5 minutes restriction, the last presentation, I will adhere to that. The presentation shows it very well. Production has decreased. It is going to be further worse next year. Now, what are the issues? The uncertain future of Indian domestic gas production has, of course, cascaded the effects on the overall role of gas, and the impacts are already there. The PLF of the average gas power station has come down to a level of 18%. Well, the PLF in our gas, which gets gas from ONGC, we are maintaining more than 86%. Yes, last year, even this year also. The challenge is, now gas as a macro caters to 2 price-sensitive segments, power and fertilizer. Fuel is not fully priced through in Section 63, and price of fertilizers, on the other hand, is heavily regulated and subsidized. The present policy of gas utilization negates the right of any LP producers to sell gas on purely commercial basis, and they are allocated by the government, and priority is given to fertilizer, LPG, and power sector. The latent gas demand in India is difficult. I mean, coming from electricity sector, it becomes very difficult for me to understand in the gas that even demand estimation is very poor. There are a lot of work that needs to be done in the gas sector. As far as the infrastructure is concerned, there is lack of an integrated grid. I was in power sector for more than 2 decades, and I am aware of the congestion on a daily basis. But in gas, there is no connectivity at all in southern and eastern part. Whereas a fully developed grid would allow gas-fired power generation, especially high-efficient CHP units throughout the country. Now let us see what are the strategic drivers. Basically, there are 3 drivers for natural gas. The long-term clarity around policy, which the presentation is on. I think the other subsystems people can go through. We have to make the process more simple and enable greater autonomy, which is not there presently. And of course, technology development, skill development, and local manufacturing. I will not go to the coal shortages because that has been dealt. Let us talk about gas only. As far as the focus areas are concerned, increase production, and there is more than 15% of margin in recovery of existing fields. Maximize the mature field production and recovery through production optimization. There are a lot of efficient technologies which are being used nowadays. We need to discover and develop new fields. Yesterday only there was a new statement by minister, and that should yield results. We need to increase focus on unconventional sources, particularly shale gas. Yes, US has changed the very concept of gas pricing based on that. The coal-bed methane is more suitable in our country. We need to secure our resources globally by increasing stake, acquiring and exploring the new assets. China has done a lot of work on that. We need to expedite development of LNG terminals and pipelines by resolving land acquisition issues. Need to source natural gas natural gas at competitive prices, and of course, blending. Last but not the least, let us not forget that gas generation is very close to green generation. It takes care of most of the problem of pollution. And if you can maintain the generation at a high efficiency, it can cater to so-called merit order scheduling of electricity generation also. Thank you.
Thank you, Satyajit.